Oh.
And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for joining us, the FC13 podcast. We are now going to be streaming the Panama-Canada game for the semifinals of the Concacaf Nations League. So hopefully it's going to be a good game, a good turnout, and we're happy for you to join in along with us. Most of you aren't going to see this introduction because it's the start of the stream, but I'm going to do it anyways for posterity's sake, and so that way I remember to do it at all. So, Thomas, officially now, how are you doing?
I'm doing very, very good. I've never haven't even come close to see Canada win a trophy because I am, as we think we discussed previously on one of the live streams, last time Canada won a trophy, I was -9. So today, hopefully, is that day we get one step closer, and I have full trust in John Herdman and the boys to get the job done tonight.
Well, I mean, John Herdman's it's a tall task. It's a lot of work to do. I mean, Panama is by no means a pushover team, but it is a team that we can definitely beat. We've seen this. It's just, can we do it now in a neutral ground? Can we do it with a lot on the line? And I mean, in the back of their head, they're still going to have that feeling of who's coming next. Because it's not just like a simple team that's going to be next for the final. It's at minimum Mexico or USA, unless one of them fucks up so badly that they're disqualified and then the other one loses and it's just a shit show and we just automatically win, which based on a couple instances in the past could very much be the case.
It can happen. You know what? Anything can happen in football, and hopefully it's that. Death with a beautiful game. Glory to Canada.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Share it around the stream a little bit. Get some more people in here. By the way, if anyone's going to be tuning in, make sure to get your questions in. We will respond to them live on air as best we can, depending on what it is. And if we want to even answer it in the first place, but most times we'll answer it, no problem. So they've announced the starting 11, obviously. What are your thoughts, Thomas?
Well, for Canada, I know True Northfoot, aka CPL News, did post a lineup graphic, what I thought was happening, and it looks like a 3-4-3. And gonna be honest, I like not having Davies is gonna be very interesting to sort of see maybe where this team stands even without their superstar. But if Buchanan does join like the front three, that might take David out of it a bit more, and they're definitely trusting Laren up top a lot. So he kind of has to deliver now with David likely to maybe be more of a playmaker here. I like that Larea is starting for sure. I like that Adekugbe is starting too. I think the backline, although on the pod that Paul and I did to preview the Nations League finals, I think that we said Derek Cornelius would be great, just considering he had a great last window with the Canada men's national team, but that Miller and Johnston, obviously, they know each other very well. They got great chemistry, and Adekugbe too, coming off a trophy with Galatasaray, he did very well this year. So I think as good as Panama's defense is, I think Canada can definitely match that.
Yeah, I fully agree. I think we do have the striking power, the attacking power to pull something out. There's no reason that we shouldn't really be able to kind of come up, especially with Davies sitting on the bench. We have that attacking power. We have that speed sitting on the bench. Hoylett again on the bench. We've got that attacking power as a backup, and it's something that I think that we can utilize to our advantage. And that's a rarity for once. For once being able to go into something, not having to put everybody all out all at once, like that's incredible. That's not something that's normally what happens.
Yeah, and on Panama's side, another good team, very defensively solid. There's Cecilia Waterman you don't have to look out for. However, I believe that hold on, give me 1 second. I'm forgetting his name, but he's actually the Panamanian guy on the thumbnail. Give me 1 second. His name's gonna come to me once I see it. He's actually not in the starting 11 today. Yeah, so that's one of their top players actually. So at striker, so it's gonna be interesting to see how because they're gonna go very defensive is what I'm being what kind of the signal is.
Yeah. Well, you would go offensive. Realistically, when you see the lineup that we're putting out, why would you think to come in from an attacking standpoint? Because Panama's already beaten us. This isn't something new. Like Panama has managed to beat us already. This is something they know they can do. They are an attacking threat, but it's just something they need to play in a defensive way. Because if this gets out of hand, this is going to get out of hand quickly.
Yeah, and that's for both teams too. Canada fall quickly. It could be the end. And I mean, we can't forget they did beat us last time, but first game of World Cup qualifiers, that was when we made our big statement with that amazing Fonzie goal. And that was against Panama. So really the sort of not the start of our ascent, but the start of our global climb was against Panama. So recently we have that mixed history, but in this competition we've been doing well. I see no reason why they shouldn't win this.
Well, look how many players are coming off of title wins too.
Yeah.
Jonathan David was so close to a title win in a sense, but one of the best strikers. Atakubi, as you said, coming off a title win. Davies coming off a title win. Johnson coming off a title win. Like so many people are hungry for that additional title versus before when it was just, people were starting to branch out and starting to get European play time and starting to make a name for themselves. I think this is actually the full test of where our strength is because they have had this time in Europe. They've really kind of gone and worked there. Paulo Sports says, let's go, boys. Ricky from
yeah. I'd agree with that. With that.
It's a deep and riveting commentary in the most Canadian of Canadian enterprises for us to hone in on.
Yeah, like as you're saying about like that winning mentality. When Wellstarter puts that graphic of all the trophies won by Canadian men's national team players this year, like that, it is insane. And David might not have been too close to the title, but him and Lille sort of came back. It was through his goal scoring that got them into 5th place. That's a European spot. They edged out Monaco and Lyon by 2 and 5 points respectively. So they had a very positive end to their season. So he has a good taste in his mouth too. It's good pregame shows. It looks like in Vegas, not the best crowd, but it's just because it's a massive stadium, right? You put that in a smaller stadium, it'll look amazing. Like if you had it at Snapdragon Stadium in San Diego, it would look a lot better from the crowd. But because it's such a big stadium with tiny country and a tiny fan base playing in this game, it's going to be a bit harder to fill.
Yeah, and Panama is a distance away, so we aren't the closest to Las Vegas. Panama is quite the trek to get up there.
Yeah.
So that's a thing to note as well too. There's other cost-effective things that have to be in place because with the Vegas Golden Knights being in the playoffs and then winning it, there's a lot of extra costs that would be associated with being in that area at that time. So you can't really blame them for not sort of showing up. But Canada definitely has had a good showing. Panama's definitely had a good showing, I believe. So I think that they'll do really, really well in that regard. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the USA Canada game or USA Mexico game is going to be in the same area, is it not?
Yeah, no, they're all in the same stadium. So I will guarantee like Mexico's very close to Vegas, and Vegas is in the USA. So I'm a bit nervous if for whichever of these teams makes the final, the stadium's going to be entirely for the opposition.
Yeah, fully. USA, there's no reason USA shouldn't pack that stadium, and there's no reason why Mexico won't pack that stadium. They do always have a very, very good away fan base. I mean, when you have a big away fan base that goes up to Edmonton in the middle of winter, that says enough. They'll be packing it out for sure. But this is the least we can ask for from our guys to show up in this regard. And I'm still very impressed with the turnout that we have done, because I know a lot of people personally who are down in that area. Shit, I would be down in that area, but I can't afford Vegas right now. So here I am watching from my home when it's colder up here.
You know what? Even watching from home, like the majority of people will be watching from home. It's going to be, if the result is positive, it's going to be special in some way. Also, I need to make a comment on something. Why have the players have to go? They're like lining up now. They had to walk around the giant like Nations League like logo in a diamond from the other side of the field to line up. That does not make any sense.
I wish I had any idea. I don't know why half of the time they do that stuff. It is a very interesting way to go around it. So I know sometimes it's just for respect. I don't know if maybe that's the case. Maybe it's something else.
Yeah. You know, I will say one thing. It is having, the Canadian flag, like, blown up put on like a giant tarp on a field like that. Like for me, that's a sign that, something big is about to happen. And every time I see that, every time I see, a Canadian flag like that on a giant field, giant stage, like it does make me very, very proud of this team and this country, or how far that we've come, really, because it tells me that something big's about to happen. And whenever we're involved and it's football, it's amazing.
Yeah, I fully agree. We've got a lot going on, a lot of stuff that we can be really proud of, and I think this is possibly our time to shine.
Yeah. 23 long years. But you know what? We have to win this game first. We cannot focus on the final because we're not in it yet. So let's get this game done.
One game at a time. Get through the first game, then we can worry about getting to the second game.
Yeah. Just not as much if it's the third place playoff.
Yeah, that is not what we want. We don't want that one. That's the bad trophy. That's the very, very bad trophy. All right. I'm just going to turn on some more lights because I'm noticing she's getting a bit. No, it's not too bad. I'll wait a couple minutes.
As the FC13 podcast, we've done watch-alongs for. We have been here for you since the second phase of the Nations League. We live streamed Canada versus Curacao, which was very obscure, probably a guaranteed win. But even if it was the third place game, I cannot guarantee that we would live stream that. That is too sad.
I do like watching third place games. I do genuinely enjoy watching them. However, I fucking hate acknowledging that I'm watching them, and I'm not proud if we win. But I do like watching them because, again, you do still get the medal. That is still there. It's good for the players, right?
You know what? I think World Cup third place games are genuinely like some of the best. That Morocco versus Croatia game, it was insane. There was like a goal in like 5 minutes, and then Croatia took the lead within 15. It's wild because the players, they don't have much left in them, but they're still playing for something. So it's just very exciting.
Yeah. They're playing for some silverware at a major tournament, and that does still mean something, because at the end of the day, that is your final opportunity to walk away with something.
Yeah,
it's your final chance to walk away with some sort of silverware, or to go that whole distance and walk away with absolutely nothing.
But you know what? The thing is, though, for me, I would rather win the third place game than lose in the final, because you have that good taste in your mouth. You still have you go out of a tournament winning, right? I think it's like losing in a final would be so much heartbreak, So I feel like
you know what? I think that's correct. I would agree with that. I'd rather get a third place game than lose in the final, because you can take pride in being in the final. Like maybe years later, you'd be like, oh, I would have rather been to the final. But I can tell you right now, for years after losing that final, I would be.
It's going to be in your head.
Upset constantly. People watching, listening along, let us know what you think. Would you rather win the third place game, right, and just kind of have to be on the back burner of everyone's mind, or would you have to hang your head after losing in the final?
And look, like no one remembers the third place winner, but the players will for sure hold their heads high.
The players will remember who the third place winner is. Because I can't even remember who 2018's was.
It was Belgium.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They beat England.
Right.
Also, that is a gigantic bench. Surely, like, how many subs can Herdman make? Do you know?
Should be 5.
Okay, good. Like, there are at least, like, that is the amount of signings that Chelsea made in the winter.
And they were all Arsenal signings. But yeah, I mean, well, Cavallini for sure will come on. Hoylett for sure will come on. Hutchinson for sure will come on. Davies for sure will come on. Lazaro will for sure come on. Like, and the fact that depending on the only reason those are going to change is if we are really doing well. We might put Kennedy in there and McGill. Witherspoon might really get an opportunity. I think that might be the case. Lattori might get one.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly would favor Lattori getting an appearance here more than Hutchinson.
Yeah. Now, keep in mind, Hutchinson, he probably will get to play because this is going to be the last sort of his tournament. So I think that might be, we can say it's overdone, but when he's said officially he's retiring, you're going to want to get him game time.
Yeah, that's true. Maybe, yeah, I guess Hoylett would have to come in just because he's very good. I will guarantee that Hoylett's going places in the summer. There's no way he's playing League One football with Reading next year. No chance.
Yeah, I fully agree. Fully agree. I don't see them making it, that way. Just because why would you, right? Like, why would you stick around in that environment, especially if you have the opportunity to do something bigger? Like, this has got to be the first of a good chance to start getting more in, to getting more opportunities come up. So, yeah.
And then especially, anytime you play at a ground called the Select Car Leasing Stadium, that's a moral loss.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, hey, shit, maybe you can join up with Luton. Who knows?
That would be amazing.
Alpha Zenix just asked, good evening, guys. Haven't you watched the match? Keep in mind, my ability to read French is awful. The match is coming up. So the match is coming up in the next 15 minutes, I believe, because even though 7 a.m. or 7 p.m. is the start time, this is Concacaf. And Concacaf does not like to start on time.
The game just started.
Oh.
We're 45 seconds in.
It's still, well, but that's what I mean. Like, the game is supposed to start at 7.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry. So I had said that wrong. It started 15 minutes late.
Okay.
It's just for Concacaf has this weird thing where they don't like having matches start appropriately.
That's a very North American thing too. I think that
not even though baseball is like one of the official North American sports, and they are 7:07 on the fucking dot.
That's true, but it's also 7:07, not 7.
Well, then make the fucking match 7:15. If they made it 7:15, they'd start at 7:30. MLS is brutal for that. They'll be like 7:30 start. 7:40 rolls around. They're like just starting to make their way out.
You know what I really hate? Like at York, before the game starts, there's like a countdown clock, for 30 minutes, and it ends at like the time of the game. So if the game ends at if the game starts at 7, it's gonna hit 0 at 7. But the game does not start for another like 7-8 minutes. So they could have just left it on. It's just gets under my skin, man.
Brutal.
Anyway, Panama have drawn a foul from quite a far out. I think a lot of people in the stadium are actually Mexican.
There seems to be a fairly large contingent, and they are scattered. Now, it is weird because I wonder if there was really any promotion in Vegas. You would think any sort of sporting event like this in Vegas, with the United States potentially being in, that there would be more people in there. I could not see tickets costing a certain amount and not being allowed to stay for the next game.
That would be smart if they were able to. Like, I think that would be a good move. Maybe just for like the upper bowl, you could get a ticket for both.
Yeah, exactly. right? You get anything in that area, and they'll see how many tickets are being sold. Because if it was a sold out crowd and they're not, they're not there, like what are you talking about? Like why is it so empty? So I'm pretty sure that they knew how many tickets were sold, and I'm fairly certain that they could have just let people in or reduced the tickets or had people stay, because it is actually fairly empty. Well, we'll see the Canada or USA Mexico game. If it packs out more, then it just means most people were just waiting and didn't care.
I think aesthetically also, but it would be way better if for the semifinal between Canada and Panama, if you only open the lower bowl. Like, we're talking about a gigantic NFL stadium. Oh, Adekugbe was played through well there. Mario handles it. He plays for a pretty decently high level for RSC Anderlecht in the Belgium league.
Tab Jamal just mentioned, come on, Canada. I fully agree.
Yep.
Fully agree. No. Nice little cross in, but nobody there to sort of help. Like, Kone is actually just kind of keeping it there. Panama is keeping up a lot of pressure right now, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, they're having they're trying to find a hole, trying to find space.
Quick question, anyone who's sort of watching, we'll reiterate back again. This came up earlier on in our conversations, because the loser of this one is going to go on to the third place game. So would you rather, as a player, be in a third place game taking home that medal, or the loser of the finals in a major tournament? Let us know if you can in the comments, and we'll discuss more. Also, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot them out. We do like hearing questions, whether they're about this, the game, the podcast, us, or something stupid. Feel free to shoot them out there, and we'll try to answer them as best we can. And any comments you do end up having, we'll read them out.
Oh, some good Canadian pressure. I saw in one of the like group chats I'm talking about the game, and someone's like, "Shit, we're in the white kits. It could not be good." And I have to say, I fully agree with that person, because it's never a good day for Canadian soccer when the men's national team are wearing the white kits.
Yeah, but you know what? It's at least a little bit better than the awful Nike black kit where they just don't even bother. They're not even trying anymore.
However, the Nike black kit has yielded some absolutely iconic and legendary moments.
I do agree. I just think those maybe came in from specific moments. Now, if we notice things are going wrong in this game, maybe we can put a request in to just change our jerseys.
Yeah.
Mid game, just change them up.
I mean, what did you think of the incredible new jerseys that came out for Canada? New black kit, new red kit. Ooh. Oh, that's a beautiful ball.
Why do they hate us? Like, why do they hate us?
Honestly, yeah. Like, I don't understand. I don't know if it was you. Maybe you said this on the Curacao live stream that we had, but like, why do Nike like Curacao more than us? Curacao have amazing jerseys.
They truly just absolutely don't give a shit about us. Like Macron, the fact Macron hasn't taken it over drives me up the wall.
Macron,
CBL some of the most beautiful kits on the planet, and the fact they haven't taken this on is just mind-boggling.
I need like say something here. Macron used a template, right, for Crystal Palace in the Canadian Premier League, and did not use, other than the goalkeeper kits, not a single template was used for the Canadian Premier League. So all I'm saying is, I think you got to get them on board here.
Macron deserves full credit. So Jamal just said, obviously, but come on, Canada, like before, but rather lose a final. That's fair. I don't want to say like I disagree, but I personally, knowing myself, I would beat myself up far more. I know for a fact that I would just end up like constantly reeling over that. But you know what? There's something to be said about getting to the final and kind of making it work there.
Cord Wilkes is, guys, you're the only dudes doing a watch along for this game right now. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's a bit unfortunate. It's even more unfortunate. This game isn't on like something like Sportsnet. And by the way, if you feel like we're not like going for enough, it's because there's actually, unfortunately, I think my One Soccer broadcast is like about 5 to 10 seconds ahead of Andre's, so I don't want to like spoil anything. Here was a free kick. It's nice grab.
Now, I mean, we could always sync it up, Thomas. Gerd also mentioned Macron has nice kits. CPL is the nicest league jerseys of any league. Fully agree. Yep. I watch a lot of leagues in a lot of different parts around the world. I fully agree. I think they have some of the absolute best kits on the planet, like almost bar none.
Exactly. I mean, look, some of the new kits for like La Liga, they're so bland. Like Barcelona have the most basic kit.
Yeah, exactly. Like I get not going too bold. You want something that's going to sell and that looks good and doesn't clash. But at the same time, too, you know, you just got to have something unique. You got to have something people want to buy. You got to have something that's just going to instill confidence and like some sort of excitement. And fuck, Nike is not it. Even
they're not, like, Nike have had their moments, but I find even Adidas cares so much more.
Well, I think Nike spends all their design budget on the Nigerian kits, and then everyone else is just kind of left with the interns trying to make it work.
Yeah.
Hollow Sport just mentioned too, like I really hope that supposed orange and red Canada kit isn't real. I'm fully with you. Now I'd be happy that they'll do something new, but I'm fully with you. I hope it's just a weird concept that's just shown up.
Wait, where is that? Where is it? I have not seen that. I need to see that.
It's one of like the weird concept kits that's come from offsides. I believe if it's the one I'm talking about, it's got a weird geometric pattern. It's very, very odd. Very, very odd.
Is it like is it actually have like a Nike watermark or something?
Oh yeah, it's got the Nike watermark and stuff like that.
Oh my god. Hold on. You know, I wouldn't mind a Canada kit with like some blue on it. I think if it was like a light blue, that'd look good.
I mean, you could get green in there and it would still look great. I mean, we have a shit ton of just green everywhere.
Yeah. But I think if you did like blue and, you know, if you want to do like crazy statement or something, you know, that doesn't really mean anything. Maybe like your blue represents the three oceans two major oceans that Canada's part of. Oh, that is awful. That orange is awful. No, I'd rather have the plainest black kit than that.
Now, Gord mentioned, are the Canada kits better than what they were? Which also, by the way, Gord did say, don't worry about it. Just keep doing your best. We appreciate you guys. Love it. Love the support. If you want to share it around, share out the live stream, we would be super appreciative. We like doing this stuff. We like bringing attention to an underappreciated one. And this goes the same for Panama. You know, Panama's not going to have the people up here following. There might be Panamanians who may not think that it's going to be broadcast. So we want to reach out and let them know that, yeah, like this is a big thing. Concacaf is a big thing and it's going to get bigger, and we want to have them on board and join in, right? As long as you're not a USA fan, you're welcome here.
Well, don't know if you can say that on air, Andre.
Yes, I can. Fuck that. But no, with the Canada kits, Canada's had some interesting kits. I find the retro kits they weren't over the top like certain countries, certain clubs have done. Their kits from the late 90s, early 2000s. They were kind of tame. So it is nice to see them keep sort of a tame, but I find that tame went too far, and now we're into bland. Like very, very generic.
Color it's a T-shirt that happens to have Canada Soccer's logo on it.
Like, yeah. Red, white, and black. Like,
okay.
That's our colors.
The women's team jersey for the World Cup is fantastic. right? But I do not want to see any more like maple leaf patterns. I'd prefer it than a plain shirt, but I don't want more maple leaf patterns. I want, you know how cavalry have like the gradient as like an Alberta scene, like with the mountains and the bison. Like I want to see something that really represents like what Canada is, like what is in Canada, what not happens to be like on Canada, like with the flag and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe just something there. Again, there's so much Inuit iconography that we could use.
Yeah.
So much.
And it's same for the USA. It's like they're very much defined by like their flag on jerseys. I want to see like the Statue of Liberty slapped on a USA jersey. That would be amazing.
That would be sweet. That would be pretty cool.
Oh, right. Good ball from Eustaquio.
Thomas, what's the timer on yours?
13:57.
Should pause for about 8 seconds.
Okay.
Go.
Oh, video file cannot be played. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Take two.
Son of a.
Okay, I'm at 14:16 right now.
14:16. Okay. Well, I'm right behind you. Hit pause for a second and then hit again. Sorry, guys, watching the stream here. We're trying to sync up our own streams. Downfalls of living and doing podcasts in a remote environment. We are separate. However, we run into this particular scenario. So,
okay, I don't want this to be like the recurring script for the podcast now, but for this like show now. But I randomly got like way forward. Wait, so what are you at the moment?
I'm at 14:39.
Okay, because for whatever reason, I just went to 14:43. So
that's close enough. Close enough. So Gorgeous mentioned our World Cup kits are an embarrassment. Senior men teams have those jerseys. They aren't unique in any way. Macron rules. Pacific FC jerseys are the best in the world, hands down. CPL is emerging. I have never actually agreed with something more. I think Pacific has some of the best jerseys in the game. Yep. There's something so cool and so unique about them. Their colors. And this is the thing. I don't know if and if anyone in the comments knows or wants to jump in or knows someone who we can talk to, I don't know if the teams have a direct involvement with Macron or Macron kind of says, hey, we'll do it. Like, we'll do the design. Either way, whoever did that up, whoever designed those, whoever picked that, kudos. Absolute blessing to you because you guys have absolutely crushed it the whole time. Although Jamal just said maple syrup on kits, fucking fully in. Fully in.
Yep.
100% support it. Maple syrup, like, just make it look like maple syrup's dripping from, like, the shoulders down. All in.
That'd be brilliant. I know that York designs their own kits.
Well, then that does answer at least some of it. Now, I know, obviously,
Macron has a say in what happens, obviously.
Yeah. A certain Scottish Paul McNulty just mentioned women's world kit is the GOAT. Canada kit. Just make that for the men. Also, we should be starting keeper going forward. We should be the starting keeper going forwards. Borjan seems to be on a downward trajectory. Or who should be the starting keeper going forwards? Borjan seems to be on a downward trajectory. Oh boy, I'm still with Borjan for now. I just don't think that the other ones are ready yet to take that mantle. But to be fair, we had a leg injury that kind of took one out for quite a while.
Out of Cook Bay's, like, so much of the play is going through him.
Oh. Good stoppage. Good stoppage, though.
Canada's doing, like, I feel like no team is really going for it. But that was Panama's best chance. If it just wasn't coughed up there. Cook Bay's been doing a lot on the wings a lot. Canada's doing a lot of balls, like, over the top, like, out wide. There's been no playing through the middle, like, at all, until the last pass, which has not been working for them so far.
Mm-hmm.
And Cook Bay is the one on that left right now because I guess because Fonzie isn't in, Adekugbe's kind of taken the reins on that left side for the moment. Oh, here he comes.
Okay.
On the right side now.
Good. Now that was still sketchy because that was a fairly close call.
Yeah. I think Labrea and Adekugbe switched. Like completely the sides they were on. And by the way, about the about the Pacific kids, I think last year they really set a standard with the indigenous pattern on it. It was so beautiful, so good. And that purple kit last year too was amazing. How it had like the forest tree background, and I think at like the purple base, it works so well. Like their colors work so well. This year, I think that like light blue one with like it's like the it's like a it's not a gold, but it's like a watered down gold. It might actually be better than last year's one.
Mm-hmm. I think it could compete for sure. I know can't even talk today. Gordon Wilkes was saying too. The design was done by indigenous Mish artists from Vancouver Island, and we have actually talked about Pacific FC's new League One affiliate, and I'm really wish I was comfortable enough pronouncing that name, but
Not
I'm
so
gonna be
much.
honest. Thank you. And the worst part is I'll forget that too. Not so much. But Not so much is we cover League One BC a lot, and we think the fact that they did the name change is one of the best things that have happened in like minor Canadian football there because
Just
that's
Canadian football.
because it's going to bring it forwards and it's going to just rifle its way up because when that happens at those points, everyone who comes from there brings that attitude up. Every transition up brings that attitude up, and more players are going to get into that habit. And I would love to see more recognition from the big guys, from Vancouver, from Toronto, from Montreal. You know, not just the CPL teams, but Pacific does really, really well in acknowledging the heritage of it, and they have full credit for it.
You know, they have like they'd had a big event for the Every Child Matters night that they did last year. Big event. They had a huge crowd for it. Here comes Canada. You know, I will guarantee you that the first or I'm not sure if there I don't think there's ever been one, but if there's an indigenous player that plays for the Canadian men's or women's national team in like in the next little while, they will have come from Notsamont. If it's a men's team, they will have gone through Pacific FC too, as well, because it's a great pathway there.
Yeah, such a good pathway, such a good series of recognition that comes in. And you know what? Maybe it'll start to push for more outreach in those communities because it's a sport that's accessible to so many people. Like hockey might be our national sport in spirit, and lacrosse might be our national sport, but there's so many barriers involved with the big sports in Canada, with basketball, with hockey, with football, American football. There's so many like barriers in place. So having these environments where we can do outreach and we can start getting kids in those areas like invested in it is great. It'd be perfect. It's a whole nother market that they can tap into for talent that could go unnoticed.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, and I think the difference between like football and hockey is that, and also, all the other sports really, is that there's like the pathway to being pro is so direct, and especially now what we're kind of seeing now in Canada, like it's always been like this in Europe, but now in Canada it goes straight up. You don't really need to change if you're in the right club. You don't have to change. Like, so if you're with, you know, let's say Alliance United, they're York's affiliate in League One. So let's say you're with them, right? You go with them from the academy, you graduate to League One, you go York professional. That's like you don't need a switch, right? And I think it's a lot more obvious the way to get to pro.
The pathway is a lot more defined,
Yeah.
And Gord specifically just dropped down. Robbie Isodomo was our first Indigenous player to win the Gold Cup. He's a childhood friend, which is awesome, by the way. If you could get us some contact, I'd love to bring him on and talk to him. Shameless self-promotion. But he had to go indoor soccer route professionally to make a living, and that's insane. That's insane. Like, the fact that that's the route you have to take just to try to make money in that, from a Canadian side, like, really, really need that to change. I would love to see CPL obviously grow, but I'd love to see League One Canada, once it finally becomes there, to be also a professional league, and everything below that semi-pro. But
on the 86 World Cup team for Canada, most of the players were indoor soccer players.
Yeah. Because, again, there was no demand for us outside of Canada. But, I mean, that also explains why we got no goals at all.
Yeah, because there's somewhere, that there's a you can maybe win in Concacaf, but when you're in Mexico in front of 60,000 people on a grass pitch with the sun beating down on you, experience on a plastic field doesn't exist very much.
No. And even now. Oh.
Yes, sir. Jonathan David.
Fuck yes.
Let's go. Come on.
Oh.
Great play.
As Gord says, I'll be back in 10 minutes, lads. Let me know when Rich Hilaria starts beating everyone up on Panama. Boy, you fucking missed a good one. Good time. Shit. Oh,
this is such a good ball from Kamal Miller.
Beauty.
What a ball from Miller. Perfectly to David.
And again, just the thought process to know legs are right open. Don't try and kill it. Perfectly placed. Oh.
I mean, I've just got to say, like, David's run it's so, you can tell he's really one of the top, at the top of his game, because it's perfectly timed, perfectly placed. It's a great ball through, and the finish is just as good. And that's how you're going to crack Panama's defense. Paul and I were talking about it on the pod when we were talking about this Panama team, very strong defensively, right? But if there are moments where Canada can just outplay them, because Canada just have more quality, and it really does show in that moment.
Yeah. So Gord mentioned too that he was the co-owner. We're going back to his childhood friend, co-owner of Florida Tropics SC, or is the co-owner. He went to school in Tulsa to honor his Indigenous roots. Still holds school records and went to play indoor at Centennial Park's indoor pitch in Etobicoke. Again, fully would love to have him on and talk.
That would be amazing.
Because again, we're kind of big on not doing your stereotypical players and people that you want to see. So would love to have him on. So if you can get a hold of him, get him to send over to FC13 Podcast, either on Twitter or contact at FC13podcast.com. And Paul McNulty, yes, my favorite player, Kamal Miller. Kamal Miller, just... Again, you know what? Okay. I want him to prove me wrong on why I don't like him. If just prove me wrong. Just do better, and then I won't have to not like you.
Just attention, if anyone that knows Lionel Messi who's watching this, he's playing with that guy next year. That's big. He will be very happy knowing that Kamal Miller can do it all for him.
Goodbye, Borjan. Oh.
It's close. Close one. Yeah, but when next year when Messi ranks his teammates, we already know it's going to be like 3 Xavi, 2 Di Maria, number 1 Kamal Miller. It's just the obvious what's going to happen.
There is
the back.
I want that to be true, but I don't see it.
Larrea made a very physical play there.
That's
No ball.
yeah. We gotta be careful about those because those can come back to bite us.
That was a great shot, by the way, that Borjan saved.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. It was a good shot by Diaz for sure.
Yeah.
But that was just an outstanding stop by Borjan.
And it's always good for like a goalie, like especially Borjan, who's recently, he's been good, but he hasn't. He can, especially with he's sort of in a bit of doesn't really know what his future is going to hold. Getting that first save under his belt, and what a great way to do it. That's gonna give him a lot of confidence. I think Juventus Resta just won another treble, but like they always do. So he's again on good vibes.
Yeah, but then winning a treble, that's not. Once you get to a certain point of like treble wins, it's like okay, and
yeah. Oh, wow. He is on his game today.
Man,
I think it like completely changed the direction of where his body was going to get that right hand out.
I mean, I think it's because he heard Paul McNulty saying that he's on a downcline, so he's like, oh, okay, well, fuck you then.
He heard someone say, "Who do you want to be Borjan's replacement?" and he took it personally.
He's like, I'm not dealing with this. I'm putting on a show. What a fantastic stop by Borjan. Now, again, this isn't going to keep going on. Eventually, they're going to get one in. We've got to stop letting them get up there to make these shots.
Also, speaking of Paul, I love how he says great turn and shot from Diaz instead of saying great save Borjan. There's beef between Milan Borjan and Paul McNulty.
Paul wishes to acquire these sweatpants and has not done so.
Panama definitely getting into this offensively a lot more at the moment.
That's something that we got to shut down. Canada needs to shut that down, and they need to keep them on the defensive.
Yeah, they need to just turn it around real quick, but they got to be themselves, I feel, because they're not really playing like themselves at the moment.
It did seem like once that goal went in, they kind of they let off the gas a little bit, and I think that could end up coming back to bite them a little bit, but
it definitely could. But now they're in transition again. See what happens here.
Ooh, good plays. I'm enjoying at least the volume. I'm enjoying the volume of players because that's good.
Oh, great play, Miller! Great play by Kamal Miller, but phenomenal tackle. I think Karaskia.
Yeah, that was fantastic by Miller. That could have definitely gone quite wrong.
Very quickly, David's hustling back, which is he should not have to. So good play by Miller to shut that play down.
Yeah, we need to make sure we're not tiring out our forwards because, again, we have the attacking power on the bench, but we don't want to have to use them.
I believe the final would be on Saturday. So there is still a lot of time.
Sunday. Finals on Sunday.
Sunday, sorry. What time is it? Sorry.
8:30 p.m.
8:30, okay.
Come on.
Oh, jeez.
A lot of play.
Just turning it over now.
Yeah.
In midfield.
That central back and forth right now.
And it's all the thing is that the central back and forth is just getting Panama more chances because we're getting opportunities. Panama are working pretty quickly. It's I believe it's Murillo and is Murillo, Cummings, and Barcenas on that the right that are turning things around quickly for them. Dane St. Clair would have held it, says Paul.
Oh, of course he does. Of course he does. All right. Guys. I'm surprised this is the first, like, decent foul of the game. I know Larea had one earlier, but, like, we're 33 minutes in.
That's revenge for Laraya's one earlier.
Yeah. Because, okay, you know what? That was just a hard hit. That wasn't even a Larea special. That's just
really I mean, he gets his foot in there. Another crappy turnover.
Well, we still got to hold out for another 10 minutes before Herdman can try to reorganize, and that's
worrying.
Right now.
Because Panama are much more alive than we are. I mean, the fact is you can't make lazy turnovers like that. And if you're forced to keep making these very exhilarating runs, plays in possession, we got to get all the way down the field and turn around quickly. They've got to reorganize. They've got to say, we have to hold on the ball. Make sure there's more connection and make sure there's multiple passes, easy passes you can make.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they need to be making sure they're maintaining, like, possession of this, because we can't afford. We as a team just can't afford to rely on a defense or our counterattack, because it's where we're going to get caught up. It's where Orient's not going to make one of those saves, and that's what's going to put us into a bad position.
Buchanan ball wasn't played well enough for him, and he went down. No call.
See, now we're playing the time wasting games. That's not good. Not good.
You should never have to play a time wasting game in 36 minutes in.
Yeah, not with a solid amount of time left. Not with 45 minutes.
Kugbe just gave it up again. I mean, it's like just heavy touches, and to be fair, on that play, he was being double teamed, he was being swarmed, but still.
Come on. Let's go, boys. Let's just try to move this up. I
pick up the pace.
Anyone in the chat, let me know. What would you do right now? What would be Herdsman's instructions in a little bit of a huddle? Do we change up our shape a little bit? Do we maybe consider a change of personnel? Like, let us know in the comments what you think.
I think maybe even you put in Hutchinson at the break, because he'd be very calming in midfield, and he's done it before. He's not going to give away with a crappy pass like that.
Yeah, well, that's what Hutchinson. So I've been a supporter of Hutchinson, but that's what he's about. He's about calming the environment down, about having the experience, keeping control of the players. And this is, I think, a team that you kind of need that. As soon as we got that goal, every little bit of cohesive passing we've had have been cut out or ignored. Like, it just doesn't seem like they're playing as a unit right now.
Yeah. Kone was like this close to getting a perfect touch on that ball in the air.
Yeah. That was a very, very good reach out for sure.
Good defense. Good defense again. Arguments for oh, come on. They're giving that to Panama.
I don't understand what kind of like a weird advantage play that might have been.
I think maybe the right boot of Buchanan lingers a bit too long and brings down Diaz. Okay, it's just going to be a throw in, it looks like.
Oh.
Okay. Looks like the referee stopped it there.
Yeah, like that's exactly what I thought that was.
Jeez, Buchanan, he has that much speed. And Andrade just dribbled it out of play. How do they still go on that?
He does not just keep that in. That is very much out of play.
Yeah. He dribbles it out and back in. Like, he knows it. Everyone knows it. And also, Laren should not have tried that fancy back pass.
We get too fancy too often, and that's where a lot of the problems can come in.
Yeah. The only one player I'd trust doing, like, absolute wild skill stuff would be Buchanan.
David can do them. Davies can do them.
Davies, yeah, too.
Davies, I find when he starts doing them, he starts trying to take on too much. And we've mentioned this on other streams before, that he will, when things start going south, he'll try to do more than he should. Like, he tries to one-man army it.
Mm-hmm. When in reality, it's a Canada mentality, right? It's like the brotherhood, right? So no one player should do that for multiple reasons. Canada as a team is always going to be better than one person. Like, this is not the 2014 Argentina. And also just the brotherhood mentality that they have.
Yeah. Yeah, fully. Take advantage of it. Support each other. Like, that's the best way you're going to do this. Like, make sure to be supporting yourself, supporting each other. Yeah.
Like, can we get David was held back.
There
we go. That's deserved. It's about time something like that has happened.
Okay. Yep.
That's 100%.
When you have, I think actually what did it is the breakaway. Because if there was no breakaway there, I don't know if he would have necessarily done that. He maybe would have just let it go, called a foul. But that is, the chance of a breakaway there. That's an instant one. Paul McNulty then just jumps in response to ours. What would you, as John Herdman, do if you had to do something, either make a change or tell them, need an extra body in midfield? I don't know if Hutchinson has the legs for a full half and potential extra time. Maybe go back to a mid-three of Coney Osorio and use Stacchio.
Yeah.
I can see Osorio really having a big impact here, having the experience of big games. I think that's fully right. He has enough experience with games in South America or Central America, and against Mexico.
Okay, come on now. Well, the referee is just needs to make up his decision about actually calling things, or if he's just not going to call anything now. I mean, you give it shirt tugging is a yellow card, but that definitely has to be a foul at least.
My God.
Come on, man. Come on.
All right.
Oh, that's good. Okay. He's somehow not offside. Oh.
Well, they might just lift it later, apparently. Oh, right idea. Such a good idea. Yeah, see? See what I mean?
Yep.
Like, way late. Why is that? What's the point?
Why
Why
do
does
you
it
need
take
to?
run
You
more?
because you see it in the moment. It's not one of those things where you need to think about it for like
Well,
15
it's like,
seconds.
oh, well, what if he gets like a goal? Well, then you're going to call it offsides anyway. Like, fuck, you just call it offside. Stop it there. Stop making them run for another like 10 seconds just for you to be like, oh.
Also, I saw this this like Mikel Antonio, the Jamaica and West Ham striker, and he said he loves celebrating, but he feels like he can't anymore because you never know if it's gonna be offside because the referee never actually calls it in the moment, which is such a drag. Like you should let the players know what is actually happening.
Yeah. Especially, I get VAR maybe pulling it back. That's fine because VAR, it's got its good, it's got its bad. But there is the ones where it's the delayed offside. That's the really shitty thing when it's just a very obvious offside, and he's gone in and he's made a shot and then he raises his flag. It's like you just raise it right away.
I also love there's already an American Outlaws banner. Oh, he's probably offside here.
Standard of America. Yep, just can't wait to put their mark on other people's shit.
Looks like the Voyagers though, like this section, like it is very red. So I think maybe they try to group it and then there's Canadian fans scattered elsewhere, but it's already starting to fill up now with green from Mexico.
There is a lot of green from what we can see. A lot of green.
Like, I feel like Concacaf, surely when they look at this, their brand team has to say, this is not a good look for us. Like, surely they can give out like free shirts that have like Concacaf Nations League Finals logo on them to the people in green or in USA jerseys and just say, can you just please just like put this on for the Canada Panama game? Just take it off for the Mexico USA game. Because it just doesn't look good. It looks amateur and have other fans in a game that they have no relation to.
When it's so empty.
Exactly.
If it were a packed, because you get that in the World Cup, especially early World Cups, you weren't always able to get tickets, and a lot of the tickets could end up being, for other teams, for other games, and that's fine. But when it's this and it's so empty, that's the shitty thing.
Even if the people from like the upper bowl came down, oh, it was a great dribble. Adekugbe lays it off to middle. Oh.
There we go. Oh, so close. All right. Let's see if we can pull something. Another 2 minutes. Let's try and pull something firmly out of our bottles.
Well, we've got to maybe Herdman was just yelling them, just look alive. And they have. That was a very good chance. But it's just I'm not a big fan of Canada playing this counter-attacking football.
We have too much attacking power for that. Now I feel
and not enough defensive power for that. Like although I think our defense is good, it's
nowhere near strong enough for that.
Yeah.
Nowhere near to rely on them in that way.
And you're also not gonna break because the goal that we scored, the counterattack, it was very good, but you're not really gonna break Panama unless you're constantly bugging them.
Yeah.
Cone is down.
Ooh. Yeah, that might. Hopefully, we're not going to sub now. Okay. How is that not a foul then?
I don't understand this ref. Like the CONCACAF referees is never been a should we
Never been a
say
never been a favorite.
yeah.
Getting CONCACAF has been a thing. So like that's what people have to remember. Getting completely CONCACAF is absolutely a thing.
As Canada. Yep.
Especially as Canada.
We'll see maybe as like an experiment if like one of the defenders did like a brutal tackle which wasn't entirely clean, but it wasn't entirely trying to knock someone's cut someone's foot off and see if the referee calls something then. Because if he does, he's just biased.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like I think there's some places in the highest levels you should not have biased referees, but CONCACAF says no, no thanks.
And
Don't
says,
agree with that.
absolutely not. Promptly get fucked.
It's like sometimes with CONCACAF, you feel it's like WWE is just scripted.
Yeah. It does. Well, and that's the thing is like there's certain Americans who like try to bitch and complain about like, oh, we get fucked and we get to do this. Like, I don't know. Canada gets screwed over way more often.
Yeah.
But either way, what a good start to the first half.
It was good
1-0
to hold it out, hold it down.
Yeah, 1-0 for Canada with a Jonathan David goal. What an absolute lovely goal. Beautiful ball in from Kone from Miller as well. What a good half, although we did end up sort of faltering and stuttering there for that half. Let's hope that Herdman can actually like recoup, rejuvenate, get them going on what they need to, and just go into this second half guns blazing because one goal is not enough. 2 goals are not enough. We need to at least secure ourselves 3 if we want to be comfortable.
We need to be very safe. We need to make sure we're just in the safest position. 15 minutes by the 60th minute, we need to have another, in my opinion.
Fully. Absolutely fully. I'm going to grab myself a drink. I will be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Thomas or the FC13 podcast, please make sure to be posting them in the comments. We will read out the comments as well as questions. And if you could share this around, share this with friends, let people know that we're streaming them. And we're trying to really get the hype going for Team Canada as well as Panama because both teams deserve more respect and more acknowledgement than they actually get. So make sure to fire that around. So we will see you guys in the second half, and we're going to play around a little bit in the in-between. See if we can come up with a quick game. Or if our resident Scotsman might actually have a game locked and loaded. You never know with that man. So hang around, ask some questions.
Right. So, chat. Any thoughts about the first half before we get back to playing here? Maybe who you think should be subbed on after 45, because you probably could make some changes at the moment, as Paul had said. Maybe a midfield change would be good. I feel like maybe even Eustachio goes out, because he's obviously, you never want to leave because he's great and he can come up with great moments, but he for sure hasn't been as much of a presence so far. Add someone to the back line, even, because if Canada are dedicated to playing like this, then they're going to be wanting to shut down Panama on every side, because having a lot of defenders, a lot of players are having to drop back because of the three defenders. Panama are definitely sort of coming from all areas, including the center area. So I think another body is needed at the back. So maybe you play around with the formation 4-3-3 or something like that. Get some new players in. Davies in. Maybe Davies in after 65. We have Andre back.
That's the question, right? Is when do you bring Davies in? Because Davies is going to come in. It's just now a question of when.
If I don't think that I don't think that Herdman will feel desperate enough to sub Davies on, because he's definitely going to want to save him for the final, right? Or because if they do make it, if he feels comfortable, then he'll put Davies on later. I think they're in a position where right now they don't desperately need him. So I think until they need that, or they just want him to get back in a competitive scenario, they'll leave him off.
Yeah, that is fair, but it's just we're not at that position yet, right? So if we stay at a 1-0, at what point do we bite the bullet and say, like, he's got to come on? Like, at what point do we just say, like, look, enough's enough? We've got to bring him in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's also because he hasn't played a real game in a while. That is also always time for him to just get back in a good space, just running around on a field. Honestly, is better for him than being on the bench.
And you don't want someone who's not fit, like match fit, come final. Like, that's the last thing you'd ever want.
Yeah, and a player of Davies' caliber too, definitely something you'd look to avoid.
You need him to be in full match fitness. But Gord Wilkes has said, what's the score? 1-0. It is indeed, Gord, for a beautiful goal. But again, we could use definitely two more. Definitely two more.
We don't want to go up 2-0 because it's the most dangerous lead in sports. We all know this.
Very much the most dangerous lead in sports. Very much. And even 3-0 can be sometimes a little dicey, but 2-0, you see it too often.
I think if we went up 3 against Panama, I think we'd take a bit of the wind out of their sails.
Well,
and especially if we force them to have be defensively solid, like we've seen them do a lot, then we can break them down. But we need to focus on, we really need to focus on actually breaking them down. Can't be leaving it to counterattacks.
Come here, sweet. Oh. All right. The good luck cat is here. All can be spared. All right.
Herdman's got his coffee or something.
I like it's not even in a reusable. The guy's got just a takeaway.
Yeah,
I would be surprised if it was just a Timmy's.
exactly. He's gonna find one in Vegas.
I believe they have one in Vegas, if I'm not mistaken. Find out.
Herdman is such like he does seem to be. He didn't have a coffee for the first half, but he does for the second half. I don't know. He seems just someone that's maybe not as regimented because he just, I don't know, he's a very interesting manager. I think for the first half, he was wearing like an earbud in one ear. It's like an AirPod.
You know what, though? That could be just as an opportunity to listen on any potential changes, because you could have someone from your staff maybe further back who can see things that you can't.
Yeah. Anyway, we love Herdman. We love the stories he will tell in press conferences and all that.
Yeah.
All of it. Right. I don't believe any changes for the Canucks.
One change.
One change. For us or them? I think it might have been them.
I think it was for Panama. It was Maurice, I believe, who for Davis. Okay. Let us see. Come on. All right. Let me see. Yeah. All those moments where I've got too many tabs up and I'm trying to just keep track of everything. And oh my God. Yeah. So Eric Davis came in for Morello. And
Oh,
I think,
okay.
yeah, so they're pulling in a defender. They're trying to create a little bit more distance.
Yeah.
I think they're nervous now. Now might be the time to take advantage. Now we really got to be careful of our their counterattacks, because now that they have that defensive strength, they can slow us right down with more attackers up and then counterattack against us.
Morello, maybe not in the Panama setup, but for Anderlecht, he's relatively, I think, on offensively minded. Because I think he's more of a fullback, so he's even scored a few goals for them in the Conference League.
That's again gotta be really careful with that. Gord just mentioned, I can listen to John Herdman talk all day. He's brilliant. He understands human nature. You know what?
Yes.
I fully agree. Fully agree. How it will even bet Priesman. Like
You know what?
That's the insanity too. Like they're both from the same town. Like maybe that's just what the town's about.
We are just Canada's just blessed with good coaches, both sides.
Well, I mean, now we got Phil Neville just hanging around.
Paul's trashing him in the comments as well. I hope Phil Neville gave them a right good team talk.
Yep. Paul, you need to get in there and give him some of that Scottish wisdom. Come on. I don't like how slow the game is starting off. I don't think that's going to bode well for us.
Oh, it's definitely not.
Ooh. Who's pulling that in? Interesting.
So was that to the bench?
Yeah, that was to the Panamanian bench. Like, but I don't know if it was to one of the staff or if that was to another player.
I think it might have been staff.
Come on. Oh. Good throwing territory. This is a good spot for us.
That's good. Short, quick passing. So we're gonna get offense. There's another bad giveaway. Holy, I'm getting tired of these givers.
These first touches need to be improved so badly.
Yeah. And especially if the passes are going to be short and quick, you've really got to work on that. Because that seems like the way Canada's going to be able to build on possession. At least what they're maybe it's not what they're going for, but it's what they're doing, and it's how it's going to lead to chances.
And that's the scary thing, is that we can't afford them to get those runs. One good one, and we could be in some serious trouble.
Yep. And it was a good sliding defensive play there to prevent a through ball. But look, the fact is we're really getting caught napping a bit, I think.
So as Gord Wilkes has pointed out, it's John's childhood. His father struggled with mental health issues. He had great challenges. His town in northern England is industrial, old 19th century working class. It is a very blue collar town in a sense, and you can really see it with the way both himself and Bev Priestman actually interact with media and with other players, and the respect that they command. And I think that is paramount, and it's one of the reasons why I truly hope he stays, because I fully believe that having both him and Bev Priestman there really puts a lot of emphasis on joining Canada's squad versus an international squad. Like, they've done wonders. They've done absolute wonders to our squad.
I have to say, and I think I speak for a lot of people when I say this, when there was that news that came out one morning a few months ago, when it was like he was going to New Zealand, like my heart actually sank, because I could not imagine a better coach for this team. I just could not imagine another coach for this team.
Yeah, I don't understand where that rumor came from, because that did kill me a little bit, because I was thinking same thing. Like, why would that be the case? Why would you choose that?
He was there before as the women's coach.
Yeah, but like, when you're going so well, you've gotten a club to the World Cup and you've got guaranteed world. Like, why would you leave and then decide to go somewhere where you're not guaranteed a World Cup? Like, you've got a World Cup coming up in a couple of years. Like, don't do that.
That was a good cross, a bad header on Panama's part.
Massive shout out to John, who's just joined in with the chat. Hey guys, great stream so far. Brother, absolutely fucking ecstatic to have you here. You know, I'm going to be wanting some stats posted in the comments about a very special game that was going on with one of the future superstars of Canada. So you best be posting that in the comments there, because I absolutely need every update. Okay. It's so much better pressure. We're not keeping the possession that I think I'd like. Right now we're sitting at 48-52 for Canada. It's not enough possession. I could have seen us having way more possession.
Oh, definitely. Against Panama, definitely.
And not even a slag on Panama. Panama just, like, from past games, it's just we would normally dominate that a little bit more.
It's just like their style, right? It's what they've been doing.
Like, even our shots, like, we only have the one shot. 52 minutes. We've only got the one shot. Like, it doesn't seem like we're taking any risks from way outside the box, which I'd love to see.
I'd take
David
it as
should be fire rifling them in. Even Eustachio should be rifling some of those
as
in.
long as it's not a thing where we're getting down the field trying to get there like quickly on a counterattack and someone goes for a long shot, misses, and there's a quick turnaround. Like, as long as we've actually been building up for a while, then sure. Like, if we're not able to crack them after a certain point where we've been trying to build up, then got to go for it.
You're not wrong, but it is a scenario that if you only have one shot, you're only ever going to get one goal. We got to start putting something, trying to test that keeper at all.
Yeah. Because also you've got to think, after that one shot, one goal, he hasn't settled himself into the match, right? So maybe if there's any person that's not warmed up on the Panama side that you can catch off guard, it would be him.
Agreed. Fully agreed. John, let me know that my nephew there had finished up his game 5-0, 2 goals for Noah Butcher, which is some of the youngest now that you're going to be seeing come up through the ranks over the years. So absolutely massive shout out to Noah Butcher for that fucking huge win today, and can't wait to see him and Johnny Boy get in the field and get some more wins under their belt. So massive congratulations. And if you've got any younger ones there, or any games or scores from stuff going on, feel free to post them in the comments and we'll give them a shout out too. You got to support it right from the bottom all the way top, because that's how we're going to get people on this field here today. Thomas, is it just me, or do I feel like they're almost like a little bit more aggressive and unnecessarily? Like, I'm feeling a yellow coming on for Canada really soon.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. I think they're getting a bit frustrated at themselves for not doing anything, but I think that's also they're not helping themselves in any way by doing that. They do seem a bit, they're driving right at Panama's players. Everyone seems to be just going for them, so maybe trying to find the space around them.
Could be the case. I mean, like, obviously there's a reason why we're streaming this versus sitting on the sidelines coaching, but it is also, well, I mean, you could probably be there. I'm way past the hump, but in this regard, it's a scenario that I'm super worried, because we can't afford these yellows. Like, we can't afford to be getting any kind of a yellow lineup. I mean, it's super bad when you're looking at the team and you're thinking, okay, well, we need to be pressing, we need to be avoiding the counterattack, we need to be making sure we're not giving anything away. But now you've got in the back of your head, okay, don't start getting yellows. We thankfully have a small blessing. Mark Anthony K is not here, so we know we probably won't get a red right away.
Ismael Diaz threatening again.
His turn and shoots. They're going to be the death of us.
Yeah, but you know what, Andre? Phil Neville is on the sidelines right now, so I think all of us could be there.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair. Oh, yes. Yes, I very much understood that, linesman. Totally didn't know. All right. Guys, up with it. Let's go. Let's push something. All right. What is going on with their long balls? What is seriously going on? I find we're struggling super hard right now.
Yeah, we were actually the thing is though, I think we were kind of nailing them in the first half, to be perfectly honest. Like Eustachio over the top was doing quite well, but right now it's not clicking. So yeah, I think I would go plays like this. Ooh, so close. Laranissimo, you've got to finish that.
Oh my god.
What a chance that you know what? What I like is that they've got the ball right back though. They've brought it right back. They're trying to generate another chance. This is what they should have been doing the whole time.
Oh my
This is good.
god.
But
You know what
Laranissimo's
though?
got to finish
Again,
that.
I wanted another shot. They gave us another shot, and it was a good shot. That was a great save.
Yeah.
I take. You got to give him full credit. That was a fantastic save.
You know what I'd love to see? So the Panama goalie, if maybe you're not watching this on One Soccer, he's got this like very bright goalkeeper jersey. It's teal and pink. I would love to see a teal and pink Canada goalkeeper jersey, and Boreon shows up with gray sweatpants in that jersey.
Oh yeah. Clearly, like the wrong sweatpants.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, Laranissimo, I think, has just hit one
Oh, there we
over the
go.
bar.
It was too high, but that's what we need. Paul McNulty, good save from the
Keep
keeper. Just
going.
came a little too quick to react any other way. Again, great, absolutely great.
Yeah. It's positive sign. We got to keep building now. Actually, a very good pass from Boreon, but just headed it back to the goalie.
On guys, this is a good 2 shots. I know that one was way over the mark, but 2 shots. We need to keep that up. We need to keep that pressure up. We're not going to get a second goal if we don't do more shots. And
yeah,
what like again a lucky save, such a lucky save from that keeper to keep that out.
Oh, guess who's coming in?
Well, didn't you say the 61st, 62nd minute?
I said like 60th might have been a good time.
Anyone who's watching the stream, go back, check, let us know, because I'm pretty sure you called it like to a T. 61st minute, I think I'll step on that pitch, and I think you called the 61st minute. In which case, I'm going to make you go pick the winning lotto numbers. And
Maybe like a minute. I think I might have said like 60th or so. And then Oso's also coming in.
Yeah. Ozo's coming in. Absolutely. I fully see that. That I don't see. That's a little weird, taking off Buchanan.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Buchanan's really starting to settle into it right now. He's been doing a lot.
He's been very good. Atakubi, I can get. I would have taken off Victoria because, again, age and keeping the strength in the legs fully. There must have been something there, but Atakubi for Davies is a very good substitution. It really, really is. But
I think
Buchanan is I don't agree with.
You know, they're definitely rejigging the midfield a lot. So I guess Davies isn't going to be a left midfielder. He's going to be left back.
Maybe.
And then I assume it's going to be a 5-man midfield if Buchanan's going to come off because he was sort of in the front 3. So if Osorio's coming on, he'll probably drop back and join the midfield.
Yeah, because it did seem it was a lot of a good 4-4-2. So it could just be a direct swap potentially.
Yeah.
Although Osorio's not really, that's not a role he thrives in the most. You know, I find he's a lot better once he's got that central run up. So it's hard to say.
Yeah. Well, so I guess
there's a second yellow.
Is that the third for Panama in this match? No, second. Okay.
Second.
I mean, the issue is I think we have a lot of midfielders that are better just in like central area instead of being out wide.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
So that's why 352 works, because more players are actually able to play in their domain.
Oh, well, it's good they didn't call a handball there, because I am almost positive that smacked off his arm. Shop now at Amazon.com/Concacaf. What the fuck am I shopping for?
Well, I'm going to look it up right now.
So, by the way, Amazon, if you want to sponsor us, FC13 Podcast, or contact at the FC13podcast.com. I fucking Boston accent there for a second. Ladies and gentlemen, obviously, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, make sure to post them in the chat. We will read them out on air, answer your questions, especially if you have anything football related. If you don't have anything football related, or if you just want to know a bit more about us, feel free to shout them out. And if you have any guests or suggestions on shows that we should do, feel free. Drop them there. Drop a line at our Twitter at FC13 Podcast, as well as contact at FC13podcast.com. And check out our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts, or wherever you get yours to see our regular content. Same with the writers from FC13 on 13thmansports.ca. Thomas is one of those writers.
Yep.
Shameless self-plug. Had to do it at least once.
So they honestly don't have bad merch for like the Nations League finals. It's like one
Really?
like welcome to fabulous Las Vegas sign. It's got the 3. Like obviously, it's not the best, but like I don't know who would buy that. No one like buys a shirt of like a tournament with 4 teams that ends in 5 days.
I mean, fuck, they can't even sell the tickets for the goddamn event.
Yeah.
Like, if this wasn't in Vegas, which is generally an expensive city, I would absolutely be there in a heartbeat. I will say, though, the Mexico shirts look kick-ass.
Oh, so cool.
They look
so cool.
So fucking sick.
They're inspired by like a Mexican like dragon god that like created. There's like one of their like top gods, and it's so cool. It's like Quetzalcoatl.
It is. I think that is super, super cool. I mean, man, what a great one. Canada's is a little boring.
What, kit wise or
no? Just I'm looking on that Amazon thing too right now. The Amazon page, I think Canada seems like what you would pick up in Las Vegas at a gift shop when you forgot to grab something for a loved one and you're in the airport on your way home.
Mm-hmm.
But the one from Mexico actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel
so,
bad
Andre, are you going to the Gold Cup games that are in the States?
More than likely. Vegas is just a bit too on the price point for myself, and I find myself not a very big gambler, so the whole city has never really piqued my interest.
No, yeah, I'm not a big fan of Vegas. Seems kind of overhyped, if you ask me.
Exactly. So there's a couple of good spots. I'm excited for that, and that'll be a good tester for the World Cup coming up in 2026. Because again, people may not realize it because it's going to be kind of in most of your backyards, that this will be one of the largest World Cups by area ever.
And I'm just saying, we need to find a way to get down the States for the Copa America. Need to. Next summer, Copa America, United States with South American nations and Canada too.
Oh, fully.
Travel agencies, anyone, please sponsor us. Get us down there.
Give us a promo code. We will absolutely push your stuff, and we will get people there to watch the Copa, because that will be so amazing. Absolutely amazing. Come on.
The Mexican end is really starting to fill up with green jerseys.
Yeah, you can tell which match is really going to fill out.
Scott Kennedy's going to come on.
Interesting. So we
I
are
like that
bringing
move.
we are bringing that. Okay.
I like the move. Do you see it? Is it for Miller?
Johnson.
Okay, I like that move. I think Ali has not been like he's been good, obviously, but I don't think.
With his injury, you absolutely
Yeah.
need to be bringing him back out. Like you can't risk another injury like that.
Exactly.
And
I think
70 minutes, I think that's good.
put anyone with Kamal Miller in this game, and you'll have a good combo. Oh, finally, Panama are the ones that
Don't
cough
you
it up.
betray me too on the Kamal Miller thing. All right. I already got to deal with it enough with Michael, with Paul.
Yes.
My God.
You already know it's Fonzie time. Oh yeah.
Let's
Let's
fucking go.
go. Come on.
Oh,
Get
boy.
in, Fonzie. Oh, what a goal this is. What a run.
Holy
what the hell?
shit.
No,
From
one soccer just
John Osorio, what a chance. Absolutely, fully agree. But obviously, Davies pulling that around. Probably because Johnson is getting back to match fitness. Again, agreed. With that injury, too, you don't want to risk anything.
This is so
and holy
brilliant.
shit.
This
what
is
a
so
fucking goal.
brilliant.
Just
Because
1, 2, boom.
It's a
Total
great
rocket.
pass. He attracts the defender, but I love that he has the audacity to just take it on his own. He doesn't need to try to find a pass. Is a
John,
tight angle. He's being
right.
pressured by like two guys.
That is a rocket. He's got the pressure, but that's a rocket.
He can't
touches
stop
once
it.
and just beelines it. The guy just was putting his hands up like.
He's like, nope, yeah, this is game over.
Oh.
And you know what? On that same play, Panama actually coughed up the ball. So finally, we're not the ones that are losing it.
You know what though? But that's a refresher. So we've had our halftime. We've had a couple give ups. We know we've got 3 new players in that are like, guys, stop it. Pay more attention, right? Every time you get one in, you know Herdman's adding instructions. He's coming out screaming the instructions. So this has been a really, really good changeup. What a fantastic run of play now.
Paul gets the "Oh Canada, oh baby" in the chant. That's right. In the chat, that's right. This is one of those moments.
Yep. But I've got to do it like a really condescending, like nasally voice. Oh baby.
Gee, I wonder why.
For no reason. No reason at all.
No.
I wouldn't
It's nothing personal.
I wouldn't want to wheel you along in something.
Did you intend that as a pun, by the way?
Always. When people say no pun intended, don't be a pussy. Always intend your puns. Oh man. That was sketchy. That was super sketchy. Also, what an interesting way to throw that. There you go. Maybe not.
Oh no.
Remember when I said that thing about like us not giving away the ball?
Yeah. Oh, there we.
Jesus.
Yo, Paul.
There. Paul. Yeah.
He caught that. Don't give me any of that. Dayan would have caught it. He caught that.
United front right now against Paul's hatred for Borjan. Jamal just said, what a goal that was. Holy shit, was it ever?
Yes, sir.
What is
Davies and bangers against Panama. They go hand in hand, baby. Let's go.
He is their absolute kryptonite.
Londondo and Martinez coming on for Panama.
All right. They are coming on for. Wouldn't mind seeing the board right now. And
Barcenas is coming off for Martinez. And also, I think Andrade might have come off. I think it might have been Andrade. I'm not totally sure though.
It is, and I'll tell you
Waterman comes off.
Yeah. So yeah,
Right.
Arsenes and Waterman come off.
Rejigging the offense a bit, seeing what they can
And
get.
Martinez and Lodondo.
Yeah, very offensive approach now from Panama. Getting some fresh legs on there. We'll see what happens. But again, Jose Fajardo, who has scored a couple times recently for them, so the reason he's actually out is he's on red card suspension. I did not know that when I put him on the thumbnail. Oops.
I can't believe you, Thomas. I can't believe you. As John just pointed out, can I just point out how hilarious the contrast is between Thomas's mild language and Andre's absolutely no chill? Well, John, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. One song for Milan too. I know Atiba is done after. I want them both lifting trophies before either one of them be hanging up the boots.
Oh, no one's there to finish in the middle. It's just going through the middle. And speak of the devil, here comes Atiba with Junior Hoylett. They're coming on for Atiba's coming on for Ismail Kone.
So I said at the very start, based on our lineup, that a really good set would have been to bring on Davies, Osorio, Hoylett, Hutchinson, and I put Cavallini in there. So I was wrong with Kennedy. So
yeah, but 4 for 5 is not bad.
He is going for it. He very much understands the presence here. Hutchinson needs to get in there, calm that back line down. Hoylett has got just too good of a boot to not bring in. And
Andre, I just want to congratulate you. You're on the same wavelength as Phil Neville. Master tactician here.
Yeah, I am secretly a football manager master. It just happens to be the one from 1996. And as long as all of those players are still currently playing in those squads, kick your ass anytime.
I don't think probably
Hutchinson.
Most of the guys that were subbed on probably were born after 1996.
Hutchinson. I got Hutchinson that would exist, I think, at that time, and that would be about it. Come on, Hutchinson. This is where you need to be calming everything down and letting Hoylett go.
Let it chill. And you know what? This is the moment where, honestly, if you've got a time waste, just do it now. Now is deserved. Oh, Larea. Good defensive play by Andrade.
Yeah. But it's a very, very quick run. And look how much support he had, though. So that's a good thing to notice, too. It sucks as much when you have someone making a run and it's pristine, but then there's no support. There was plenty of support. So if he had that extra second to be able to pop that off, we could have seen something different. But again, Panama knows they're ready for this. They're ready to kind of come in and start making those tackles.
Yep. Eustachio on the corner. I honestly thought he was going to come out. I know he has the ability to do a lot, but I honestly thought maybe he would be the one to come out for Hutchinson.
I think he's got too much of a commanding presence to really take him off. But I do see what you mean. I do see what you mean there. Oh, come on.
It's a referee, man.
Well, let's see what the replay says, right? Because that's going to be a big one. Good press. Good press. Let's go, guys. 2 is still not good enough. We still got plenty of time. Come on. And now the horns are coming out. All the background noise instruments. Son of a bitch. It's the bane of my existence. If anyone wonders why I hunch over like a hobgoblin, that's just because I'm trying to type and I put my keyboard too far. Come on, see with the pressure. So, question, Thomas, if you had one person who wasn't in the lineup for this match to toss in, who do you think you'd probably stick in there?
In terms of not even like on the bench or not at all?
Just not on the bench. Like in this particular bench, like if you had another player there that might have been called up, might not have been called up, who do you think you'd bring in here that could really impact?
Well, it's hard to say because I think Canada's like in the driver's seat right now, but I think it'd have to be a midfield. I saw a lot of talk about Nico Jansabas on Footy First was saying like, why is Bustos not being called up? And he's been doing good too. I mean, you know what? I think Cornelius would have been good.
Yeah,
but it's just he's injured.
Which, to be fair, like that, there's only so much you can do in that regard.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. Like I'm not saying you bring him on when he's injured, but I think
get on there. Go in your keep with your broken bones.
Phil Neville says work. He doesn't want to see anyone slacking off.
Which is probably exactly just sort of what he said.
Fonzie got away.
Right idea. Great idea. Just a little bit of a different sort of move, and that would have been a whole different outcome. Although Bustos, I think Bustos, that should have been one that would have been really good. Yeah, you're totally right, John. Davies did not seem happy that no one was there in the middle to help at all. But again, we're getting people up here, right? That's more impressive than what it used to be. The issue of getting people even into the box, getting people in there. Yeah, and for sure that was I don't want to say an abysmal header by Atiba, but it was definitely it was lucky.
Leaves a lot to be desired.
You almost saw me drop an ace cube. No, you didn't. Interesting runs from Panama. They've used all 3 substitution marks, but didn't use all 5 substitutions. Because they just did one, but they brought only one person on. It's so strange for me when you do the 3 sub like rounds, but don't bother bringing on 5 people.
It's bringing my inner York person in me, but I think right now Canada would be good if at this point in the match they had someone like a Clement Baya come on. All that speed and desire, because I think you've got to keep that up through a whole match. I don't think it can stop. And I think also maybe they need a defined cam to get the ball, pull the strings a bit, get the ball, quickly turn around, find a guy like David or Laren, keep them in their position as two strikers, and just get the ball to them. Maybe one can come to the middle, get a tap in.
Yeah, I think that's a good prospect, because speed is what really helped us when Davies came in and David really picked up his speed. Buchanan started showcasing it. That was when things really started turning around for us. I believe, in my opinion, that like unrelenting pace. And you're right. I think with that younger generation, they have. I don't want to say nothing to lose, but they have everything to prove. So they're going to be just giving every ounce of energy 100% of the time, which may not be sustainable, but in short tournaments like this,
you can easily do it. It's a short tournament that will mean a hell of a lot to fans and players.
Yeah, a mountain to everyone involved. Oh, what a good turn!
But yeah, I think you need someone to bridge the gap between like 5 midfielders and 2 strikers. So someone who's in there specifically to do that would be good. Or is it? Oh, whoa, the referee just pushed a Panama player. Straight up, just here comes the.
Now she's kicking off.
Yep, it's all kicking off at the Allegiant Stadium. It's what, Panama's third? Yeah, third.
Yep.
Wow. Yep. And once again, it's the Larea. I think Gord Wilkes. As soon as he said, "I'll be back in 10 minutes," let me know when Richie Larea starts beating up everyone on Panama. He looked through a crystal ball to give us that message.
And here he is beating up on the Panama. Oh, I now have insider information, ladies and gentlemen. John actually just put it up by Panama doing Panama things. 100%, John, 100%. I have insider information, though. Oh, boy. This is a direct quote. The Mexico-USA game is going to be wild. Canada fans are firmly behind Mexico.
No way.
Woo. It is going to absolutely pop off. Make sure to check that out. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Or if you're in Paul's Mountain Time, it is going to be 8 p.m.
Here's the thing. So are the Canada fans going to move? Because in their end, that's the U.S. end. So you think they're going to make the pilgrimage over, join the Mexican fans?
It'd be funnier if they don't.
It would be.
It'd be funnier if they stand there and just say,
it'd be
like,
funnier if, as like the Mexican anthem goes off and the camera cuts to them, and all in unison, as like with that one giant section of red, they just all take off Canada jerseys and it's just green. Turns out they're all Atletico Ottawa fans, so they speak fluent Spanish too.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, okay.
What are they trying to? Oh, is it on Larea?
On the Ray, it could be a red card because this is outside the box.
Ah,
yeah. He's
like so on Kennedy because of the back pass.
Or no, on the Ray, like so on the Ray, he's looking at the hit on the head.
Ah.
That's what it is. So it's outside the box. So what it is it looks like it could be a straight red because it looks like he's smacking his head.
If Panama go to 10 men, you've got to think it's over.
Well, there's the 10 men curse. Like, let's be fair.
That's true. That's a good point. But if you are already being outran and like out speedy. Don't know. There's no better way to really say that. If you're being out speedied by guys like Davies with 10 men, it's not going to help.
Oh. Straight red.
Yeah, he's going off. Geez, that is a tiny red card symbol on the One Soccer broadcast. Look up, like above the zero.
Wow! Holy shit! That just looks like a pixel went out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. They keep arguing. They could be down. They could be down to 9 men if they keep pressing this way.
And with the resolution of One Soccer, you already know that's how big the pixels are.
Yeah, John, you're right, 100%. Got what was deserved there. He came in. He knew what he was doing. His hand was up. He hit him twice.
Richie doesn't even like.
No, keep in mind.
He doesn't even milk it that much.
He does get in the way. He hits him once. It's the second hit. So he hits him the first time there, but then he brings his hand back and hits him again. And that's what they were looking at. The first time could have been an accident. The second time, once you brought your hand back up again and you've hit him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's thinking there. Oh, and they got Panama's another yellow card for dissent.
Godoy came up and started doing dissent. They got to be really mindful, right? They got a lot of yellows and a red. They've got to be very, very careful. They can't.
I mean, at this point, look, 90th minute, they're not winning.
Yeah, but at the same time, too, you still got that third place game.
That's true.
Right?
That's a good point.
So that straight red could very much affect them. I know they reset a lot of stuff, but I don't think they reset straight reds. Come on. Let's go.
Run it out. Hold it down, run it out.
Not even. Keep her going. Keep that pressure up. Keep that drive up. I don't ever want to run down. We already tried to run them down once, and that was after the first goal.
Yeah, 6 minutes. 6 minutes. We got the time now. We do have a lot of time.
Got enough time to give ourselves a nice 4-0 lead. And again, full credit to Panama. Panama has been very, very dangerous. And if Bordian wasn't on his A game today, this would be...
It'd be very different.
It'd be very drastically different.
Great run. Stays up. Eustachio.
Oh.
He's pulled it wide.
Just barely. But again, didn't take the time to shoot, so you got to give him a little credit. It's the guys who take time, hold the ball, shoot, and then mess up. Oh, no excuse. But if you see there, first roll over, tries to hit right away. Couldn't get it on target. Good idea. Keep the pressure up. Let them know that at any moment we can be a threat still. Good run. I'm liking this pressure. I'm liking this constant pressure.
Yep, and there we go. We got the ball back. And Lorraine just kicks out of play.
Yeah,
cramping up a bit.
As John just said, Eustachio going to be kicking himself. My work, what a run by Richie, but he could have milked both the elbow and this most recent foul. Fully agreed.
Yeah,
fully agreed.
Richie gets the right to go down for a bit here because you know what? On that play, like he was almost taken down. There was a leg in there that Richie evaded, got the ball through, kept his run going. Could have got, and you know what? If Canada had a free kick, don't think they would have had as good as a chance as that Eustachio one.
Yeah. And again, he's 92 minutes into playing, so like.
You know what? He doesn't have the energy to dive. No, at this rate.
No.
At this point. No reason to.
God.
That Davies goal, man. Davies and David. Fonzie and the Iceman. Like, performance of the match going to David. Yeah. I mean, you know what? I think so because I think there's just been a lot of action up top, maybe not in the midfield as much.
As John put it, one hell of a game by Richie. Absolutely. One hell of a game for David. One hell of a game for Eustachio. Let us know in the comments, guys. If you're watching along, feel free to jump in. Let us know who your man of the match would have been or if you agree with that. Like, let's hear your opinions. Do you think
I agree with that because
a bit more, or do you want to see someone else in there?
Maybe Larea or Miller could have deserved it too, but I think I agree with David. That's not particularly out of the blue. By the way, in addition to that, after seeing this game, for the next game, who would you maybe not include in the starting 11? For me, I think it's hard to judge with Fonzie's like fitness level, but I was not impressed by Adekugbe.
I think Adekugbe needed more time as well. I wasn't not impressed, but I definitely think he could have been a lot better. I would have Adekugbe in there again. I think solely because I like the idea of Davies coming in as a substitute, as someone who can come in and make an immediate impact when you need it.
Yeah.
I think that is so much more of a blessing, and I think that was a very good switch. Right? I
It
could have
was
maybe seen it other
very
way.
smart. Very
But it was
smart.
such a great switch for those two. They have such kind of good playing styles, but they also work really well together. So maybe having Davies there might really, really help. Honestly, I think Victoria, if I was going to take somebody out,
Yeah.
and not that he hasn't been impactful, like not that he hasn't been good. I just find that the overall impact that he's had has been less compared to some of the other guys.
Maybe, and like a hot take here, especially knowing that Paul is in the chat, but Kennedy over Johnston might be something to watch. I think that might be what's going to happen the next game.
I didn't even think Johnston was going to be playing based on his injury. Like,
yeah,
I didn't even think he was going to be on the
He was in like
field.
crutches, like when he was celebrating the treble like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, so like personally, he should be on the starting 11 100%. Absolutely on the bench, ready to go. But by no means should we
on the bench ready to go, but even as like a plan B for someone on the bench for substituting, like Kennedy has to start.
Yeah, exactly. Like he has to be on the bench, but he has to be in the substitute portion. Like we cannot be risking injury because we've got the Gold Cup too close. We've got way too much on the line to be risking injuring someone big like Johnson.
Assuming that a guy like a big player like Alistair Johnson is even going to be playing in the Gold Cup.
Which, yeah, exactly. You never really know.
Because usually the Gold Cup is mostly comprised of, a select few European players, but a lot of MLS guys that play closer to home.
Yeah. But we'll see, right? I mean, if we taste a trophy here,
then maybe you go all out. You go for the summer double that the U.S. did in 2021.
Yeah, I think lifting a trophy here may change every opinion because that taste of victory, that like prospect.
Speaking of taste of victory, there it is. We're going to the final.
Oh, fuck
We're going to a major final, baby. Let's
Sunday.
go.
It is going to be Sunday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Join
Canada will be playing the winner for a trophy against either USA or Mexico, which kicks off at 10 p.m. today. Holy shit.
Oh my God,
what
man.
A fucking win.
Right, I'm already getting butterflies for Sunday. Holy, what a great second half performance. It was a bit so-so in the first, but they put it together. They held strong.
What a great, honestly.
Wow.
That was great. There was a couple moments there that I think Herdman can really take away from it. We have so much promise there. And there's so much now to play for. I really want to give a shout out to everyone who has sort of jumped in and watched along with us. It means an absolute world. We will absolutely be trying to stream the final there again on Sunday. It is, in fact, Father's Day, and what a great gift it would be for John, father in here, for any of the fathers that are watching along or any of that home to be raising and lifting that trophy. What a fantastic prize that would be, and what a great gift you could give to someone else. But also at the same time, too, thanks, guys, for jumping in and commenting. Make sure for any of our streams you share them with friends because we really want to showcase a lot of stuff, answer your questions, and so bring to life anything that you really have to say that we can do.
And you know what? Show up in numbers. Show up. Get your voice heard. It's a final day. That, to be honest,
we don't get many.
Look, Canada is a phenomenal team. Don't get me wrong, but it's not every day that we have the chance to play for a major trophy. Haven't really had a day like Sunday will be in 23 years. So So enjoy the lead up to that. Enjoy it. And Andre, we did it. So
it's epic.
In Herdman's AirPods, he was listening to us. He was listening to Andre saying what substitute should go on.
You know what?
He's like, yep.
You know what? Statistically, that is possible because it is a live stream. He could have been listening along. So you are welcome, Canada. I made the substitutions. He was the right choice with Kennedy. I said him that.
I said Davies around the 60th minute. Got to
Again, timing frame. So you're welcome. The tacticians here are really absolutely helping out. That is actually going to be, I think, it for us. Normally, we would stick around a little bit and answer questions, but it is still on just a Thursday. So we, unfortunately have many things to do tomorrow. It is getting a bit later. Thomas, what's going on? Tell us, reveal what you're doing and tell everyone where to find you and give us a nice send-off and we'll send everybody off the right way.
You can find me at ThomasU22 on Twitter. I mean, to be honest, like I've never really seen anything like this. A lot of people around my never seen anything like this. It's been a long time where people will support other countries and they don't support Canada because Canada's not the mainstream. Canada's maybe not as successful, but you know what? Today, the World Cup meant a lot. But you've got to keep following them. You've got to keep sticking around. And it's a day like today where it really shows this team, they're for real. And today, just like the World Cup, they made me proud to be Canadian today. And on Sunday, I hope they'll do the same no matter what, because no matter what, we'll have something to cheer for. And to me, it's all that matters is that we're moving up in the world big time. It's coming fast, and our time is now. Even though maybe the prime of Borjan and Hutchinson's in the past, they're still balling out, and this blend of with the speed of skill and Davies and David, everything is coming together so perfectly. So believe in the brotherhood and let's go Canada. Keep it going.
Perfectly said. We have so much to look forward to as Canadian fans. There's so many things that are going to be coming up and so many people that are going to be coming in through the ranks that right now lifting a trophy should be the first and foremost the thing on everyone's mind, because all that's going to do is just spur on everybody else who's just watching as a kid to rise up through the ranks, to get there, to join and play for Team Canada. And we want to thank everyone who's been watching along and joining us on the FC13 podcast adventure, because being a Canadian podcast first, it's been so great to explore so much talent and see so many people coming into this area. And you got to give full credit to them, full credit to Panama and Concacaf for kind of trying to put this on and get everybody going and excited about what traditionally isn't the most excitable force. A lot of times UEFA takes over that excitement. So great job, Concacaf, for doing this. There's a lot of things that could be improved, but we're happy with how it is and where we're at. So thank you guys for listening, for jumping in here on stream, for asking your questions. If you want to do more or see or have more of us in your life, FC13 podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon, wherever you get it. Right. We have a lot of stuff that goes on there. We have just, not only our regular shows, but we also have special guests. We have different people like coaches. We also do an entire series dedicated solely to Concacaf, Islands to Igloos. I don't know why I keep wanting to mix that up. Islands to Igloos with Thomas, Simon too, who's jumping on some of them, as well as Paul. Really deep diving into CONCACAF and what it means for those international teams. So
we're gonna have some cool guests coming up before the Gold Cup, so stay tuned
to check it out. You're good to find something out about these countries that traditionally isn't ever really sort of pinpointed or looked at. And what a great way to do it. And if you have any questions or you want to have us read your stuff out, even on our podcast, feel free to send it to us on Twitter. If you have any guests or show suggestions, contact at fc13podcast.com. Feel free to send us an email. If you have any criticisms or, suggestions, we want to hear them, right? We may not implement them, but we might want to hear them, and we won't ignore you, but we might tell you, cool. Can't say one way or another, but we won't ignore you. We love the support that we have. Thanks so much, guys, for checking us out. And make sure to check us out on Twitter at FC13 Podcast, on TikTok at FC13 Podcast, as well as YouTube, where you're watching us currently. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you never miss an episode or a live stream. Thomas, where do we find you online?
Yeah, Thomas here 22 on Twitter, 13thmansports.ca, writing about York and hopefully a trophy day for national team.
And I'm at the Andrew McCrae. Thanks, guys, thanks, guys, so much for watching. And remember, listening and watching to the FC13 podcast is a lot like watching football through a microwave.